quite a long history of gliding in this country, but we've never had a museum that's dedicated to gliding. Until this venture, there was no centre for it. We had no museum for gliding, like most other countries have. And we see this really as the first stage in establishing a heritage centre for gliding, so that people can come here and see vintage gliders on the ground and in the air and learn about gliding in general. Chris Wills, who was the first president and one of the founders of the International Vintage Glider Club, left some money in his will for a hangar to be built here at Lasham, which, together with contributions from other people, has allowed us to build this hangar.
A lot of people and organisations have been involved in this project so far. So firstly, I'd like to thank the Lasham Gliding Society for making the land available at this beautiful site here. Secondly, I'd like to thank Wally Khan, who led the fundraising activities, and all the people who've made donations. Their names, and there are more than 270 names, are on a board over here that'll be unveiled in a few minutes. And the donations have not only been in terms of money, but also a number of vintage gliders have already been given and loaned to the centre. And finally, I'd like to thank all the members of the centre who've worked on the project, and in particular the construction team, led by Gary Pullen and Richard Moyes.
I want to echo what Tony's just mentioned about the effort that was put in by the team here. Most of them you'll see tonight with the white T-shirts on. Where are you all? Gliding Heritage T-shirts. And echo again what Gary and Richard have done in leading the project. It was a long road at times, and there were a few bumps along the way, a couple of temper tantrums, lots of cheesy chips, but they got there in the end.
It was undoubtedly Chris's greatest achievement that he kindled in so many of us his veneration, admiration, and enthusiasm for vintage gliders and the pilots who flew them. He believed that preserving them and flying them was our sacred duty. This wonderful hangar will greatly help us to discharge that duty on his behalf. So with devout thanks to all who have contributed so much, I have the honour to unveil this plaque of the donors to date. Thank you.
And finally, I'd like to welcome Peter and Sam Cody. So I'd like to ask Peter and Sam, please, to cut the tea,
Vintage gliders are different to fly. I think they're great fun to fly, particularly open ones. And the technology is different. The wooden technology is quite different. Gliding is a very good way of learning about science and technology, and meteorology and mathematics. It's a very good vehicle for that. So we'd like to form links with schools and young people's organisations, so it can be an educational thing. The next stage will be to add a museum building so that we can have static displays and presentations, and also to house an archive of historic documents concerned with gliding.